All right, this is lecture 3, all about IT infrastructure. You're kind of going to need this stuff when it comes down to your assignment 1 project, which I just made a recording of, so you can watch that. This is kind of an overview. Originally, when I taught this class years and years ago, I didn't have this in here. Then I got to realize that a lot of people don't really know what the internet is. First of all, what is the internet?
It's tubes.
Series of tubes. We actually just showed that video to our secretary.
A tangle of tubes.
Yes. It's a series of tubes. It's not a big truck. You don't dump stuff on it. It's a series of tubes.
I received the internet yesterday in an email today.
Yeah. And you can subscribe and have them send you a movie every day. Okay, whatever. Okay, the information system. We store, process, transmit. We can do all kinds of stuff with it. We can do record keeping. Pretty much like our student system. We all enroll in classes. All that is done on our information system. We make decisions based on it. We have what's the office? I think the third door when you walk in the front is, what the hell's the name of it now? But basically she does stuff based on numbers. Her job is to do research. We have to, we get paid based on that. That's, they actually look at the number of enrollments and number of graduates based on programs. And if they suck, they get rid of the program. So everything's based on numbers, okay? Also process automation. We like to make things a lot easier, okay? All right, how about ordering stuff on the internet? I'm assuming we all do that. How many times do you call somebody and order something compared with ordering online? It's like you do it all online now. You do it all online. I built a website for a company called Chapel Supply. They sell pressure washers. Paid about 20 grand for this website I made years and years ago. Every single page they had a 1-800 number on it. Every page they wanted it on there. And after about 5-6 years, guess how much they sold on the website? 0. They didn't want to sell it on the website. Why do you think? They wanted you to call. Oh, so you're buying this. You also needed that and the next thing. And now I want to get you on my mailing list. And I want to start calling you and spamming you with crap. So they actually got a lot of sales because of the website. But think about it. You're going to buy $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 piece of equipment. Are you going to do that on a website? No. Probably not. But you could go to the website to read about it, find about the product, and then call the number, and that's what they used it for. They had people from China looking at the website, finding them, calling them, and ordering stuff. So even though the website didn't actually sell anything, which was weird, but they did get work based off of it. But that's kind of a special case. Papa John's. I'm assuming someone has had Papa John's before. I seem to have it quite frequently. Like I got to order Papa John's right after class. But if you order online with Papa John's, every time you order a pizza, you get points. Every 25 points, you get a free pizza. So it's like you order, 5 or 6 pizzas, you get a free pizza. It's like, why would they do that? Because they don't want you calling. They want you to order it online. First of all, you're going to spend more because you're going to be looking at the pretty pictures of the big pizza and the Coke and the wings and the crap. And did you know how many people work at Papa John's? Like today being Monday afternoon. How many people are going to be working in the store right now? 1. Wow. Normally it's 1. Now there's certain locations that have a lot of business. Normally it's 1. Take phone calls, makes pizza, and then have a delivery driver. But it sucks. Now in the evenings they'll get more. Weekends they more stuff. But so the reason is they just want you to order online. It makes the process a whole bunch easier. But I am still wary. If I order a pizza online, are they going to get the order? I mean, is someone going to be checking? But they do. They do a real good job. And it actually pops up on the computer system, beep, 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 whenever there's a new order come in. And kind of cool. But this whole process automation is a big deal. Okay. Normally, information system exists on what's called the edge of your network. Okay. Talking more about that here in a little bit. Normally, we have desktop servers, embedded systems, all that kind of. A lot of this is older stuff. It is changing now. This doesn't mention things like tablets and smartphones, which is becoming a big deal now. Okay, desktop computers. Those are like the one sitting under my desk. This could be called desk under computers or in-desk computers. Between $1,000 or so. Okay, I think the current model we buy here at Rose State is about $800. So it's no frills. It's not a powerhouse machine. It doesn't need to be. They're mainly for desktop stuff. Okay. Price performance is focused on clock rate, measure performance. So they're okay, but they can obviously get much more faster than that. Okay. Servers, file printer sharing is the #1 thing. Okay. Way back when we had a guy come. You remember GM when we used to have a GM plant here? Now it's just part of Tinker. Had the guy in charge of something at GM come talk to my class when I was working on my first master's degree. And he had to do an audit of GM, the GM plant right here. Because, you know, file and printer sharing is the #1 use of a network, in case you didn't know that. So he went out there, asked them how many computers they had and how many printers they had, and it was about 10 to 1. 10 computers for every printer or so, which is about fine. That makes sense. But he actually went out there, and they pretty much had a printer for every single computer, which is definitely not good. But in other words, people didn't know. Chapel Supply, the same company I mentioned earlier, they have a printer at every desk. And I talked to him, I said, you know, why? I mean, why don't you share a printer? Why do you think they didn't want to share a printer?
Because anybody can print off of it.
Okay, anybody could print off of it. But they didn't want to get up from their desk. They said, if I get up from my desk to walk over and get that printer, that could take, you think about it, you're going to stop what you're doing, you're going to go get the paper, you might visit with Bob on the way, you might get a drink or blah, blah, blah. So you could be away from your desk for a minute or two every time you print. It depends on the organization, what you're doing. Right. So they actually put a printer in every desk. Rose State had a policy, no printer sharing.
It's a security breach. It's easy for somebody to get into there and start printing things.
That's just another thing open on your machine. But Rose State had a policy, no printer sharing whatsoever, but now with the budget because they allow us to share. Because I shared the printer in my office. I said, I don't want 3 printers in my office. So I said, no, we're just going to have 1. And now they're okay with it because now we keep getting budget cuts. Okay. All right, it says emphasis on availability and scalability. You want servers that can do what it can do, can be upgraded as needed, okay, be fast enough, throughput, okay. Embedded systems, the fastest growing range, okay. A lot of stuff coming out. It's custom stuff, custom hardware, custom software. Heck, Nest thermostat. Anyone got a Nest thermostat? None of you? Feel bad for you.
Didn't Google buy them?
Yeah, they bought them. Yeah. I had a Nest thermostat for years. A friend of mine just bought one, and it's just like so. I mean, take it out of the box. It's even huge color codings. Put the yellow wire here, the red wire. You can't screw it up. It's that easy installing this thing. But it's custom, but it integrates a lot of stuff. But there's much more stuff coming out. Let's talk about commercial software. Okay, so do you think it's cheaper to hire someone to write a custom piece of software for you, or just buy something off the shelf?
Wait, is it cheaper?
Which one's cheaper?
It's cheaper to buy it off the shelf.
Buy it off the shelf. So I'm going to buy an accounting software. I actually wrote a piece of accounting software for Sergeant Grip Marine Specialty. I wrote one for him because whatever he had a piece of crap. So I wrote it and it was actually doing really good. He really liked it. But he's like, man, are you going to be able to support this? I said, no. There's way too much work involved. Way too much work involved. So I said, you really... Because he kept growing and growing and growing. I said, you really need to go commercial. Like Sage, that's what a lot of people do. Sage, Mass 90 is probably one of the most popular ones right now. So really, off the shelf is the way to go. The custom hardware and software, if you got a huge company, yeah, I can see doing that. But hell, I was actually watching a Kickstarter commercial this morning. I don't know how I got on this page. About the most annoying birthday card ever. There's a Kickstarter page for it. He wanted $7,500. He's got like $25,000 in backing. It's a birthday card, and they sort of, ooh, look at the fold of this paper. It's so perfectly folded. I'm like, what? And this ink, this is no ordinary ink. We went to South Africa to find this specific ink. I'm like, okay, whatever. But what makes this card funny is you open it up and you push a button and play, the song. Can't stop it. Once it starts, you can't stop it until the battery dies or you destroy it. That's why it's called the most annoying birthday card. It literally goes on forever. So it's kind of a joke. It's a prank playing people. But I'm like, I don't know if I would want to buy that. But he says, the whole card where you close it, that's been done already, which is true. He wanted something different. But a lot of people are building. I mean, Raspberry Pi, hopefully you heard of Raspberry Pi.
What if it opened in transit?
I don't know.
See, that would be hilarious to mail to somebody that you want to annoy.
Yes.
Your enemies. I mean, you can ship your enemies a box of glitter.
Oh,
or
yeah,
an envelope of
I seen
glitter.
that. You could, yeah.
And you can also send them a box of poop.
You can sell them snow. You can send them snow. You know, I was weary about that because you think in Oklahoma we get some pretty hot summers. We actually got some frozen stuff in the mail. So I'm like, how are they going to mail me something frozen? Put it on my front step in the middle of the summer. They did. They had it packed in dry ice. It was totally frozen. I'm like, wow. I was totally impressed. So it's good to sit out in the sun for 10 straight hours. Well, but okay. But there's a lot of stuff out there, embedded systems that can do pretty much anything we want nowadays. We have integrated circuits. It says transistor density is quadrupling every 10 years. Actually, let me see if I can find this picture of this on here real quick. Let's find MacBook Pro 2015, the new one they're coming out with. See if we can see the board on the inside.
That's not the one that looks like a trash can.
No. Let's say MacBook Pro logic board, because they showed a picture of it. Come on, show me the size. Well, if you watch well, hell, I don't. There it is. This is the new MacBook Pro. That's the entire logic board of the new MacBook Pro.
Then why does it need to be so limited?
The rest is all batteries. But, I mean, if you talk about things increasing, I mean, that has, in 1 year alone, it reduced in size by, I think he said, 66%. That is small.
The rest of that is battery, so how long does that massive battery last?
Well, it's not, I mean, it's very thin and very light. So we're not talking hunking batteries. They're actually I think it lasts a good 10 to 13 hours or something like that. But, I mean, when I saw the video of the logic board, they showed just from last year to this year, it has dropped by 66%. That's an amazing number.
What's all on that board?
Everything. That's everything but the keyboard, the touchpad, and the storage units.
That's going to be extremely expensive to replace.
Yeah, there's no heatsink. Because they were trying to figure out a way to get rid of the fan, and they just did away with it totally.
So what keeps it cool?
Go watch the video. They explain it all. But, I mean, the point is, things are dropping. The size, I mean, the speed, the cost, everything is dropping so fast. So, you know what that law is called, where everything's doubling in time? It's called Moore's Law. Every 18 months, everything doubles. But that's a perfect, it's probably, I wish I could show you a picture of the old one and the new one. Just from 1 year they show it. It's like so much smaller, okay? RAM, densities are increasing, speeds increasing. Magnetic disk storage. Seagate came out with a new way of, rather than having stuff on tracks, it's like on a track, then halfway between tracks. So they're getting double the density on the drives now.
What's the increase in pixels from 1080 to 4K?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And some of these numbers, I mean, what was it? I saw one even this morning. Someone has an 8K video system now.
Yeah, and they actually have double 4K. They just
Right.
can't, it's not max.
It's, I mean, wow, it's too much. It's just too much. Okay, in network technology, bandwidth doubles every year. Hey, Cox, I have 150 meg speed now. Do I really need 150 meg?
That's not really
Yes.
true.
Yes.
I don't think
I won't
so.
do that. That's how it
Okay, I never have any lag in my house, I'm put it to you that way. Unless there's something going wrong. But I can stream anything, I can stream multiple things without having any issue. So, it's awesome, but it's like, when's enough? My son actually has 2 Cox lines bonded together. So he has 300 meg. Why? Way back when I had my ISP, I started off with 1 T1, then I went with 2 T1s and 3 T1s, and I actually bonded them together. You do lose a little bit of speed when you bond them together, but not a lot. But come on, 300 meg? Do you really need 300 meg? That's...
Yes,
No,
you do.
no,
Well,
no,
it
you
depends on what you're doing.
Right.
And
But if I can download an entire television show in 6 seconds, that's probably...
But if you're having a
perfect.
giant LAN party, come on.
That's true. Yeah, my son used to play LAN party in my server room. He would plug right into the T1, and he would have like 0 latency. You could just kill everybody. It was great.
That massive bytes just suck, and is the difference between you being dead and.
Yep. All right, so the internet, as we know, is a twisted, tangled bunch of tubes. If you haven't seen the video, you need to go online, search for "The Internet is a Series of Tubes," the song. It's just,
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
I'm going to show you where it is. We're not going to watch it all.
Thank you.
That's English.
Just give us a
The
highlight.
is a series
And Al Gore did not invent the
of
internet.
tubes song. Here it is. This is the one you need. You got to watch this right here.
Just link it. Where's the highlight?
Do we have speakers
The
here?
internet is not a big truck. The internet is not something that you just dump something on. The internet is not a big truck. The internet is a series of tubes. The internet.
2 million views. Yes.
Okay, so if you haven't seen that video, it's pretty awesome. If you actually go back and watch the senator, congressman, whatever the heck he is, I don't think the guy can speak. He actually sucks at it, really, really
He
bad.
also said he invented the internet.
Yes, I know.
Did you hear the
So,
talks during the FCC when they're like, let's get a bunch of nerds to fix this problem?
internet, series of tubes connected together. It's not a big truck. You don't dump stuff on it. But pretty much connects everybody. Started way back on with ARPANET, and now it's what we have today, and it's continuing to expand. The World Wide Web is a bunch of web pages, pretty much. There's a lot of services out there. Not as some of the services like Finger and stuff like that are now gone, but you know they were there at one point. It says over 6 billion. I bet it's way more than that. And considering now most web pages are dynamic, can you really count them? I don't think you can. You can't anymore. Okay, 61 in 2006, we had the innovation, then we had the institutional, then we had the commercialization. Okay. Did anyone remember dial-up when you had a choice? Prodigy or CompuServe? You had Prodigy, which was the home user, and CompuServe was the techie people. Then they come out with AOL. None of you had that stuff. Wow.
It's so far.
I know. What are you guys, 12 or something? 14?
You've got mail.
Wow, that's exactly. Okay. Then, once they start offering it to the corporations, that's when it started to take off.
I had net zero.
You had Net Zero? Yes, I remember Net Zero.
Free internet.
People still have Net Zero. Okay.
But it's no longer free though.
All right. Packet switching pretty much changed the entire internet. So imagine taking a huge bag of groceries and trying to carry it out to your car. That would suck. If you drop something, there you go. You lost everything. But what if you took the huge bag of groceries and broke it into smaller bags and carry them one at a time? You drop the bag of eggs, you only replace the bag with eggs in it. That's what the internet is now. We break it into packets, send the packages across the internet. They do not have to go the same way, and they're reassembled on the far end. Routers are special purpose computers, like they say, are things that help get it there. Okay. Those of you that are in forensics, we had to update the router this last week to solve an issue with it, so that's all fixed now. Okay, they use routing algorithms, OSPF, BGP, all kinds of different algorithms, so the packets can figure out how to get there. So, all right, here it goes. I want to communicate with you. The original text is converted into bits, digitized into packets, then sent across the internet and put back together on the other end. We use something called TCPIP. It's a protocol suite. It's a bunch of protocols put together. We can do all kinds. What it is, it took the old OSI model, made it into 4 layers: network interface, internet, transport, and application layer, and it allows us to communicate. Okay. Here's a graphical picture of it. Most of you will recognize the HTTP at the top. Then it's either TCP, then IP, TCP or UDP, which they don't show UDP, which is fine. But that is what TCP looks like. We have addressing. Addressing, anyone know what version this is? It says it on the screen. It's version 4, okay. Okay, IPv4 is the current version, but did you know we're out of addresses? There are 0 addresses left in the world. IPv6 is fully backwards compatible though, okay. IPv4 can handle 4 billion addresses. Actually, it can't hold that many, but it can handle quite a few. Yeah. IPv6, okay, they're saying there's enough addresses in IPv6 for every square inch of land on the world and the moon still have addresses left over. So I think we're going to have plenty. I think that
Microsoft just bought like 10 million
Yeah, see, they're all bought already, but it's like when I got my ISP, I bought my address from Cox. Cox has some. So you can still buy them from providers, there's just no more numbers to be given out. Okay. IPv6, there's about 50 quadrillion addresses, no, 50, not quadrillion, but there's a lot of addresses per person. There's tons and tons of them. Okay. The way routing works, packets, the large data is broken into packets. It hits different routers. Each router makes a decision how to get there, and then they take different routes to get there. And if something doesn't make it, they ask for it to be sent again. So, pretty simple the way it works. Broken into packets, they travel across the internet, reassembled at the other end. Okay. We use domain names. Now, for this project you guys are doing, you do not need a domain name. Do not go buy a domain name. Okay, you don't have to go get a GoDaddy page or anything. Did you all see the GoDaddy commercial with the dog for Super Bowl?
Recent one?
Yeah, well, it was this little dog got lost, little puppy. So, you know, they're trying to find it. Then they finally find, you know, they get this dog, they find the owners, and they bring it back to the place, the ranch where the dog was from. Just in time, she's like, great, I just sold you on my GoDaddy webpage, and ships off the dog. You know, it was
That's awesome.
pretty funny. But you do not need a webpage for this. But the way it works is we can't remember numbers, and numbers change all the time, but names don't. For instance, at the time of this printing, cnet.com was that address there. Okay? You can very easily translate, but DNS, domain names, translate to URLs. Okay? URL is an address that web browsers can understand. Now here's something, I actually asked the question on the test the other day, and a lot of people got it wrong. Okay, we have root servers. Anyone know how many root servers there are? In the entire world, there's 13. That's it. A couple of years ago, they actually got hit by some sort of attack.
Weren't they all before?
11 of them got taken offline. No problems, everything still worked perfectly. The next level down, the coms, the edus, the govs, the mills, the everything else, that's called the top level domain. Then from there we get into the second level and then the tertiary beyond that point. So top level domains is this com, this edu, this .net, this .org, this .whatever the heck you got there, okay? So what happens, if you want to go to a website you don't know about, your computer asks your DNS server that's assigned and says, hey, I'm trying to go to Zombo.com, and my computer doesn't know about it, so I asked my DNS server. My server's like, I've never heard of that place. So at that point, it asks the .com server. It says, hey, where is Zombo.com? Then the .com top-level domain server says, oh, Zombo is managed over there. If you've never been to Zombo.com, you must see it. It's a requirement at this point. It's awesome. You can do anything at Zombo.com.
Welcome to Zombo.com.
You like that? It's awesome.
This is Zombo.com.
All this stuff you guys are learning today.
Welcome.
You can do anything.
This is Zombo.com. Welcome to Zombo.com. You can do anything at Zombo.com.
You like that? That's pretty awesome, isn't it? It goes on for about 5 minutes. Then at the very end it says buy a t-shirt. So it's pretty funny. But the point is, you know, if you don't know how to get there, you use the DNS naming system to figure out how to get to the machines. Then the servers at the very bottom actually return the address. Oh, this specific machine is at this specific address. Okay? Client servers is model of computing which is very powerful personal computer or clients are connected to a network with servers. And that's what we have here. We have clients connect to servers. They handle everything from our viruses to our updates to our email to everything, to storing stuff. Like our email, for the longest time, Rose State only gave out 10 megs of storage. Then they upped it to 20. Can anyone here, could you actually use 20 megs of storage? We're talking megabytes.
Yes.
That's way too small. I actually got them to up mine.
Oh, yeah, I know it's small. I'm just
To like
saying how fast
50.
did I use it? Yeah, you use it.
No, I mean, it was too small.
Yeah.
I actually got them to upgrade mine to 50, but now they finally upgraded the entire campus to 100 meg. I'm like, thank God. because I've never deleted an email. So if you ever send me an email back to all the way to 2000 like 0, I have it. So I keep everything because you never know. You might need it. Okay. But client and server computing is pretty much clients work with servers. Okay. Here we have our clients. They connect through a network to shared servers. They could be database, it could be email, it could be file, it could be print, it could be fax, it could be whatever. Okay. Internet today is a bunch of client servers. We have our clients, then we connect to websites, which are our servers. Okay. Pretty easy to do. Here's a wonderful picture. There's a lot of application we can use on the internet. There's some middleware services, email, file system, all that kind of stuff. And then there's transportation. Then the actual connection at the bottom, do we all connect the same way? No, that stuff changes as well. Some of us connect via wireless. Some of us connect via wired. Some of us connect via mobile. There's probably some people who connect via dial-up. There's still people who use DSL. Does anyone have dial-up in here? There's usually somebody, you know? And it's pretty much a given now that you need high-speed internet. But William works upstairs. He has DSL. It's all available. So, yes. Crazy stuff. Okay, we have the big backbone. We have these regional hubs. The closest large hub for us is up in Perry, Oklahoma. That's where Google is right now. But it's funny, you know, like I used to do a demo when I would connect to my home network on Choctaw. Between Rose State and Choctaw, I used to usually go through St. Louis, then it would go down to Dallas, then it would finally make its way over. It was always kind of crazy the way those things worked, okay? But we have our different domains. We can do email, we can do file, printer, we all connect through our local ISP. In this case here is Cox. You all seen all the construction going on here on the campus? You know that's our new internet, don't you? That's the new,
Wi-Fi.
it's new everything.
We're going to fiber cables,
Yeah,
and then
we're-
we're going to put them below ground.
Right. There's going to be redundant loops of fiber around the entire campus, encompassing every building. And everything's going to be
Have
like
they
massively
stated
faster.
how much it's going to cost to live on campus?
They have. I don't know what it is though. If you go to the Rose website, I think 200 and some odd people have already applied, and there's only 188 beds. So I've heard there's more applicants than there are beds.
Are we gonna have to leave this building at some point?
Yes.
Yes, May 1st we're out.
Okay.
So in a month. Do I know where we're going? I don't have a
Is that
clue.
why there's not that many CIT classes this summer?
That's one of the reasons we were actually very happy because we didn't know where we're going to be. I don't know where our labs are going to be. There's actually quite a few that are online.
I noticed like pretty much 90% of them are online this
Well, once
year.
we heard we were going to be moving this summer, when we did the summer schedule way back in January, like, you know what? Let's put most of these online to solve that problem. It'll make it easier for everybody.
Well, the other building's not as many computers, right?
Right, and like social science has a lab in it. We're going to be taking over that lab, room 133. I know that. But beyond that, I can't tell you where we're going to be. So I don't know where we're going to meet. Might have to meet at Taco Bell. I don't know where we're
Are
going
they
to meet.
are they going to like just in the fall we're gonna have our building back? Yes.
Okay, we will be
Maybe.
back in the second floor of this building will be opened first week in August, I think, right at the beginning of August. The first floor will be open the 15th of August. So everything should be fine for fall classes. Should be. But this is the only building on campus with no sprinkler system. They say they're doing it all this summer. I'm going to be, they're ripping out the entire ceilings in every floor, even those in the hallways where there's no tiles, all that's coming out. And they're going to be putting in all new lighting.
Don't we
new
have to have, because this is a computer thing and electrical fires and things like that, don't we have to have a specific type of sprinkler system?
I doubt it. I think we're still going with water. I know it sucks. But, I mean, there's computers in every building in every room. So really, it's not like we're a server room here. Server rooms across campus. So, but yeah, they are doing a lot of extra stuff to our building. Obviously, they're enlarging all the bathrooms, which is nice. You know, I had a handicapped kid fall in the doorway over there downstairs in our bathroom. He couldn't get up. We couldn't get in to get him. I mean, he literally fell right in the doorway. So it's a very crappy design. So all that's being redone, which is a good thing.
Maybe like U-shape with the door just always being open.
I don't know how they're going to do it, to tell you the truth. I actually haven't, if you go local social sciences, they're done. That's what ours is going to become. So social science is the way we're going to look. So if you want to go look over there. But, what's it got to do with all this? I don't know, but our internet will be much faster in the fall. Because I asked them, I said, when are you going to be done? They said by the fall. I'm like, seriously? Like, yeah, it has to be done by the fall. Because that's when the dorms open. So, all right. Internet backbone consists of high-speed fiber optic cable over a multitude of network providers. Bandwidth is how much data can be transferred. Hopefully you all know that by now. Expressed in bits per second, megabits, kilobits, gigabits, whatever. Okay. All right. Then we have network access points. We have metropolitan area exchanges. We have campus area networks. It's just different names for groupings or ways to get on the internet. Nothing real fancy there. Okay. Okay. Internet service providers. I ran one for a while. I would sell internet. Okay. I bought it and resold it. That's exactly what an ISP does. Okay. It's what's called the last mile of service. You could call me to get connected to the internet, and I would provide that last, to your door kind of thing. There's AOL, MSN, AT&T. There's lots of other ones out there. Normally now it's the big ones. Cox, Logix, that kind of stuff is doing it. It's funny, when I wanted to get my ISP installed, I contacted Logix, which is out of Choctaw, in McLeod. And they could not offer me in service. Because something about their contract, it says, since I was actually running a business out of my home, they could not come in and retrieve the equipment if I stopped paying my bill. And they were not willing to accept that risk. They were like, hey, if Ken Dewey doesn't pay the bill, we can't come in and get our stuff back. So they basically said they could not offer me service. So I went with Cox. And the funny thing was, guess who installed my internet? Logix. Cox contracted Logix. So it's still installed, totally managed, maintained, everything by Logix, but it was through Cox. It was the craziest thing I ever seen. It was the same people who told me they wouldn't offer actually came and installed it. It was funny. And because the guy's like, yeah, I know. I was the one who told you. I couldn't give it to you. I'm here to install it. For Cox. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But it was kind of crazy. Okay. Okay, you have different speeds. DSL, cable modem, T1, T3. There's just all kinds. Satellite. Anyone got satellite internet in here? No. Quite a few people do because it works everywhere. But it's faster download than upload. Okay. Cable is actually faster download than upload as well. Okay. Intranet. That's normally the internal area. It says the network located within an organization. Years ago, I was actually hired to teach a very basic HTML class to Ditch Witch. Y'all know what Ditch Witch is? Those machines they've been using to pull the cables under our grass? Seen those machines that are pointing into the ground? That's Ditch Witch. It's actually made Perry, Oklahoma. This was years, we're talking 15 years ago. At that point, their entire system was electronic. There was not a printed manual, nothing. If there was something you needed that was not electronic, within 24 hours it would be electronic. So they hired me to come up there and teach the new people how to make basic web pages. But they had a very large intranet there, and all of their, Ditch Witch has a lot of stores worldwide. They would actually connect in to the local intranet, or order products, update stock, and all that kind of stuff. So I was really impressed back then at how far along they are. So pretty cool system. And those machines you saw that stuck the pole in the ground, they can go from a mile to a mile and a half with those things. They actually have this sensor they walk around on the ground, and it tells them which angle the head's going, if it's going up or down, left or right, and they can radio back, okay, go down, and they can actually control that thing so it can dive, climb, go left or right, and go around stuff, and for a mile and a half. They drive it through the ground, connect onto it with the cable, then pull it back through. It's like crazy system. Okay, extranet, form when firms permit outsiders to access. So that's really more of what Ditch Witch was doing, but theirs is really called an intranet, because all the external stores were actually part of the internal network at that point. But so kind of a cool system. It's wireless. Y'all realize wireless is not actually wireless. It's just our connection is wireless, but you're connecting to a device that's wired in. In your house, you probably have a wireless router, but that router is somehow physically wired into the system. There's no real totally wireless anywhere. Okay? Okay, we have telephone-based, we have computer network-based. Okay? All right, and here's some of the older technology, GSM, CDMA, 3G. I was going to upgrade this, but it's kind of close. It's somewhat updated. Okay, Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi Max, Bluetooth. We all know what that is. 3G, I saw that picture. I thought that was pretty cool. This is 3G, this is you in 4G. Kind of a cool picture. 4G is a lot faster. And then we have 4G long-term evolution. I'm waiting to see for whatever they come up with next. I mean, yeah, obviously they're working on something. But, you know, we have 4G LTE here. I was down in Houston to 4G LTE, and that's actually a lot faster. So they're not all the same. Okay? And look at the amount of terabytes being transmitted. Yeah, you're going to do a lot more. You know, when in my mobile device class I showed, you know, I have a 30 gig limit on my internet, yet I only use, what, 2 or 3. So it's crazy. Still haven't lowered it. Okay? They're expecting the potential demand, which it has happened. I just haven't updated it. It's gone crazy. Come on. Everybody watches. Does everybody have Netflix? Does anybody have Netflix? Who has Netflix? All of us, really? Oh, you don't? All but one. Well, dude, why not? You didn't drink that coffee yet?
Yeah, I saw all of it. They don't update it enough for me.
Oh. There's just so much. I very seldom ever watch it, but it's nice to have it once every, you know, hey, like I need to go back and watch House of Cards. There's, you know, I need to watch season 2 and season 3 on there now. Daredevil's coming out April 10th.
I'm looking
They're
forward
getting
to
a bunch
that.
of good exclusives.
So yeah, and it's not that expensive, but you probably pay for regular cable though.
And the
Huh?
final
No.
season
Oh,
of
you don't?
Hemlock Grove is coming out soon.
Of what?
Hemlock Grove.
I never knew there was such a show.
It's a
It's got to be a
Netflix
witch
only.
show.
It's a Netflix only.
Is it a witch show?
No, it involves werewolves and vampires.
Oh, same kind of thing. Same kind of thing.
Not a witch.
Same thing. Okay, but obviously trends are going up. Okay, the revolution has begun. Low latency, fast speeds, high data rates. You know, robust gaming. Yes, yeah, lots of stuff out there. Obviously, we got all kinds of different cell phones. Yeah, they mentioned refrigerators. And actually, there are. You can get refrigerators that are on the internet. I still have not bought one yet.
Why the hell would you?
Okay, I would love, you know, actually you can buy a Wi-Fi enabled egg dispenser now. Do you know that? They already sell them.
Dispenser?
Oh, you know the egg tray in your refrigerator? It can keep track of, first of all, which egg is the oldest, and if you need any. You can bring up your phone and check and see if you need eggs. So it's
As someone that sells eggs at home, right?
yeah, it's
I don't
whatever.
think it's necessary. I said as someone that sells eggs.
I got a piggy bank. I can see how much is in my piggy bank on my phone. Every time I put money in it, it
That makes
updates
sense.
it.
That makes sense.
So, but yeah, I would love a refrigerator. You could very easily, hey, you know, haven't you ever been to the store? Man, what do we need? Do we need milk? Or you go to the store and you get home, crap, I didn't know we were out of whatever.
But then I always forget what I go to
Refrigerator will
Walmart
tell you.
for anyway.
What's that?
Yeah, so I have an app called AnyList where we share amongst everybody in my household, so we can all add to the list and remove from the list.
Those are handy.
That is the handy
Yes.
dandiest darn thing.
I mean, I have it where it says everything that's in like my pantry, my fridge, my freezer.
Except when you go there and your phone dies at the store. Damn it, I don't have my phone. But
Or they add stuff without your knowledge.
yes, or remove stuff. Yes, I've done that. But it is going to be before long. Everything's going to be connected in one way or another. Okay. All right. Wireless local area networks. You all know what Wi-Fi is and Bluetooth. It's just ways of connecting locally. Okay. Bluetooth seems to be used more and more. And when I order my watch this Friday, is that the 10th? Friday? So I'll have to use Bluetooth more then. See. So next week, no, I guess in 2 weeks you'll be able to see it. 24th, whenever that is. So, all right. Why
I know,
not?
right?
What?
It's ridiculous. This semester's almost over.
I know, it's going too darn fast. Okay, so wireless area networks, we pretty much all connecting with our devices, and then we use whatever we need to use. Okay, web development. Invented way back when by Tim Berners-Lee. Okay? I remember way back in the early years surfing the entire internet with Bill Richards in his office. There was like 5 websites at that point. Okay, but now we have all kinds of browsers, and I didn't update this for Spartan or anything like that.
Or Netscape.
Yeah, hypertext is a web page. It's a way of formatting output. You'll actually see a picture over here in a second. There's different languages, HTML, which is what you guys are most likely going to make your stuff out of. There's XML, which is extensible markup language. Excuse me. It's a way, it's really done by category, which I'll show you. This is a basic HTML page. It's formatting.
Okay.
The page on the left creates the page on the right. At the top, it says, I'll show you right up here, it says, put in an image of a compass, and you see the image. Then it says title, Office Unbound. That's this thing at the very top. Then you have a header, Office Unbound. Right there, Office Unbound. Then a survival retreat, but that's in the body and that's in italics. That's why when people tell me they can program HTML, I said, no, that is formatting. It's just like with your word processor. I want this bold, I want this underlined. Now, newer version, DHTML, that's programming, okay? So you guys need to come up with a very basic web page. Hopefully somebody in your group can figure it out. It's not hard. Okay, here's some sample XML code. Okay, you'll see it's actually, it breaks it into categories now. It gives each piece of data a name. There you go. And there's like for a company directory, you can have the company, then the names underneath it, then the specialty, then the country, and so on and so forth, okay? Then web server software. Windows has IIS, okay? And Ubuntu has Apache. They all have it. IIS, 2003 would probably be your easiest one to use because it doesn't have all the extra crap in it that 2008 brings in, and then 2012 is even worse. But Apache and Microsoft are the two. Apache is the #1 web server. Does anyone know why? It's free. It's free. Okay. They give out security services, FTP, search, data capture, all kinds of stuff available on there. But a web server is the software running. It's not the actual machine. It's the software running on some type of system. We have database servers. We have clients that connect to it. Clients can be your your cell phone, your desktop, can be anything. Okay. Internet, we have email, instant messaging, search engines, chat, all kinds of other stuff. Music, video. There's actually bots that do a lot of stuff. I mean, perfect example is Google. You can add a web page, and within hours sometime it's actually indexed. They have bots that go out there and actually search the entire internet.
I got banned from big rewards because they thought I was using a bot to like search things. But I was just normally searching numbers, but I would do it so fast that they thought it was like a bot. So they like banned me from big rewards.
Oh wow, nice. You were too quick. I actually, way back when I ran my ISP, we used to make websites as well. We used to advertise for people. We would charge them to advertise the websites. And I made a program that would go out to these websites and publish, list our websites with them. But then it got to the point where they were changing too quickly that I stopped doing it. But there's streaming media. Obviously, video is everywhere. Pretty much every page now has video on it. Cookies, as in browser cookies, not the other kind of cookies. All right, that's the end of this chapter, or this lecture. That's lecture 3. No new assignment for this one. Assignment 1 you can start on now. Assignment 2 is already up there. It's due next week. 5 people have completed it. So it means 11 of you slackers have done nothing. I'm just saying. So, all right. That's it.